What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Reality Kingdom, where we put
Oh,
the
what's
real in
up, y'all?
reality. I'm your
Do
host,
we?
Pharaoh.
It
We do
sounds
put
like
the
you
real.
putting the
We put the
board and
real.
board.
We don't always have to put the energy.
It sounds like you putting the board and board. Are you bored? Are you over it? Are you
I
still?
was over it last episode.
And now you're still over it.
Let me show y'all something. I'm gonna be
Childish on the
showing this
roll.
on all these. I'm gonna show y'all. I'm gonna show y'all this on all these all week. I'm gonna show y'all this.
What is it? I didn't even know it was doing show
It's
and
a
tell.
surprise. Surprise!
Put
Slip
my
my pants
panties
to
to
the. Who is this?
sides. Not the Zaddy calendar. It
Who is
came.
this?
That came quick. That came
It
quick.
did. Now, y'all, get
That
you one of
look
these. It is
good.
by Mr. Bryce Isaiah. Shout out to Bryce. Bryce is just a wonderful, wonderful. He is now a podcaster on the Purple Pants podcast. This is not sponsor, bitch, but it should be. Now, Bryce, if you see this,
Now show
get
Louise.
Bryce's Zaddy calendar. We have Daddy Joseph on the cover. I'm not going to go through it all because I want to show this on every podcast we have. So I'm gonna save the ones for the shows we talking about for the ones we shows we talking about. But let me show y'all the West one more time. West is literally my favorite damn.
He is fun. That is
He's actually
amazing.
my favorite motherfucking. Pick. He's not my favorite, but he is my second favorite.
What's October? Because we're in
I
October.
can't show you everybody now.
I want to know. Now I'm
I'm gonna
curious.
show October when we do the episode. So West is November because
Okay.
October is somebody else on a different show that we're covering. So make sure you watch
Okay.
all our shows if you want to see the zaddies, bitch.
Well, now I want to know what March is.
West is November, and then we also have another challenger. Unfortunately,
Ooh, do we?
now David looks good here. This is David Alexander.
David
Challenger
Alexander been looking good since All Star. Actually, 21.
He is
David really.
January
David
2025.
kind of
He's
been
not even
cute.
in this year, but he's here. He's January 2025. And then we have another challenger from this season.
Ooh.
Also, my man. And he was also on another show we covering, so I will be bringing him up again.
Oh,
So,
Luis.
my man. Look at
Michelle's man. Ooh.
you see the sweat.
Come on,
And then
fighter.
if you have it in person, y'all don't have it in person, but I have it in person. I can see it's a little trail down there. A little
Oh
bit.
my God.
Girl, the way that this is gonna be hanging up in front of my bed, and I'm gonna be laying down and shirtless. And...
Oh my God. Oh my
Mhm,
God.
Some of these other people's on Challenge USA one, but it wasn't their main show, so I'm not doing all this. So boom, those are the challengers. Get into Luis. On croqueta chat. Wow. Yeah, they looking good. Oh, look at that back. Girl, look at Bryce on the back.
Period.
Girl, caked up. Anyways, y'all.
Girl, you got sidetracked down.
Let's get into this motherfucking episode. Nothing happened, which is why we had time for that.
Yeah, at all.
We start off Michelle is getting pressed because she turned on the girls. Apparently, she didn't vote Chanel. She voted Chris at the last vote. So there's that. But anyway, Chanel and Desi are calling her out. They're like, "Why the fuck did you lie? You're weird." And
Chanel calling her out nasty.
Michelle is like, I mean, well, and she really couldn't say anything because she literally lied.
Mm-hmm.
Boom.
Chanel
Tori comes in. She tries to call him out.
Like,
she said, "What?"
Chanel was like, she has no backbone. I was like, ooh, Chanel be
Chanel.
Chanel be talking big shit on the challenge. I'm sorry, y'all can't make me get her. I love her. I'm sorry.
She had to grow on me. I'm not.
Now this is where I got, and not even so much of Chanel, because I thought they were both playing in her face, right? So Tori walks in all high and mighty. You know, she like to press bitches, okay? But she walks in. She wants to know who the votes are. Why did Desi start crying and getting choked up about voting this girl? You know, Chanel apologized. They both apologized. But when Desi started crying, I need, please tell me, like, that was game. I need her to come out and say that it was game.
Desi is just a sensitive girl.
And I think that's what it is, because people have talked about her not being as confident in her abilities. Like, Desi, have you not looked in the mirror? You are the standard, bitch. Like, girl, crying to Tori?
That was surprising to me, but later on she cries again, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is just her. Which, I mean, hey, that's just her.
I mean, when you're a mother, you can do what you
want.
There's
nothing bad I can say about Desi.
I just feel like
I wouldn't cry.
Don't be crying. It just looked like there was a bad moment for them. Because Tori's sitting there like, ooh, Miss OG Vet. You know, I could just walk in this room and bitches get to apologizing to me. You know, I know that's how Tori felt. I know that's how Tori felt. Like, yeah. Yeah. You're
I mean,
sorry.
it was kind of true.
That's what I'm saying. Like she low key like,
Like, yeah.
damn, ate
She
them up
felt.
a little bit. Like she walked in and ate. I'm so sorry. Oh, like damn. You
We
see,
get a scene
Michaela.
of these
You see,
weak ass
Michaela wasn't
dudes.
there. Michaela wasn't
Period.
apologizing for
Michaela
shit.
was not in the room. Chanel apologized real quick, like,
Girl, even Michelle. I led them to believe that I was going that way,
why is
and
everybody just telling Tori everything? Like, who gives a fuck?
like all she did was walk in the room. And this is my last word, my social, my mother's maiden name. Like,
These weak ass dudes talk. Corey, Bananas, Fessy, and Josh, they giggling like little girls about how they need to just make it a girl's day because they scared of Chris.
and then they kind of go into, Josh being happy to be here in top 5. This is the furthest he's ever made it, which Corey kindly points out. And he feel like the stakes are really high. He's Cuban. I didn't know he was Cuban. I didn't know he was Cuban. I thought he was like Dominican or something.
I think I knew he was Cuban. I just didn't care.
But
I didn't even care about this. I don't even have this written down. I was surprised.
But he was just talking about, he's Cuban. He has family that is really rooting for him and supporting him. Now, I don't. Excuse me if I'm wrong, but like, I just feel like I don't know if this is propaganda, but for the challenge producers. But why are all of these Survivor and Challenge Survivor and Big Brother players acting like this show is like the ultimate paramount? You need to win the challenge to really I'm sorry.
It's propaganda. They're paying them.
I'm just saying, like Josh, he's crying in his episode, like I never wanted this more than anything in my life. Like you won $500,000 on Big Brother.
Why is the challenge?
And I think Michelle kind of had a similar arc this episode. It was like, I need to prove myself in the challenge. Girl, you won Survivor. You
you know what? I noticed that, especially with Michelle. I just kind of ignore when they say that because it's like you're lying. I just kind of see it as you're lying.
Like not shade on the challenge, but I'm just saying, like,
well, yeah, shade on the challenge.
And maybe honestly, it could just be an ego thing. I'm not a competitive person in this manner. So I can also see, like, I mean, I've been here so many times. I'm losing. Like, I think Josh, he's like, because, he gets emotional because he's like, you guys, it's later in the episode, too. You guys have won. So he's probably like, I just haven't won. Like, he's surrounded by people who've won. I want that title. Like a Nani situation. No shade to my sister. But it's like, I feel like if you do it for so long, of course you want a title. But I'm just like, this is not the end all be all, baby. You want Big Brother. It's fine. Like, I don't know.
It's perfectly fine. I understand I understand what you're saying because I didn't even think of it that way. I kind of just ignored it. Like I said, whenever they would say it, I'd be like, they're just talking. They're literally talking. They're getting paid to say this because it doesn't really make sense. So Desi decides she wants to start playing the game. No shade. I didn't even mean it in a shady way. But that's really
Desi playing the game. She's part of the big 3.
Right. So Desi goes to Chris.
She's part of the big 3.
About
I'm gonna push back.
She wants to work with him. So she's continuing this bond with Chris because she wants to make sure she can work with him. Especially since she just went against Tori. And you go against the Queen, it might cost you. So she was trying to cover her bases, honestly.
Not this Tori. You a Tori stan now?
I've been you remember?
Pharaoh
3 episode, 4 episode, 5. When she was relevant, Tori's been irrelevant for the last 7 episodes. I haven't seen her since.
It's been all about Michaela. Huh?
Mother Kayla.
Michaela's becoming the face real
Mother.
Back.
Period. So we head to the challenge. Mm-hmm. The challenge is you got to find some bags in this motherfucking ruins. It's a bunch of bags of puzzle pieces.
The ruins.
And you got to bring the bags and puzzle pieces back and then build your puzzle first. First one bag wins.
Which was interesting about this is that they didn't know how many bags of puzzle pieces were actually in the thing. Yeah. So, like, they had to just guess and assume they had the right amount. And when you go into, like, this little fort or whatever it's called, there's, like, so many different areas. Like, they climbing through walls. They on the ceiling. Like, and it's dark in there. So, it's just, like, I don't know. Like, I definitely would have been paranoid the entire time. Like, how do you not... Like, the fact that it's 8 pieces in total, like, you never know if it's actually 8. Like, it could have been 9. Like, it's like, and then you can't stop and do the puzzle and see if you need more. You have to bring it all out and start at the same time. So it's like, you could have thought you had 5 and just started with 5. It's like, I don't know.
Definitely tricky. And it got some of the girls. I don't like the little area they were in. I'm claustrophobic as hell. So when I saw Fessy crawling through that hole and they had to crawl through 2. Fuck no. So it could slam in on me and I could die and get crushed and die? Fuck no. I hate those videos on Twitter, Instagram, and shit where niggas be like squeezing their ass in the hole. They got to take their helmet off so they can wiggle into the hole. Why the fuck would I want to do
people
that?
People be doing that for like fun.
You said you want to do that?
I said people be doing that for fun. Bitch, I can't fit. No, where am I fit in? Like, girl, no.
Girl, and you would think they couldn't fit in it. Honestly, truly, them niggas be sucking in. Fuck no. So, they're all searching, getting their pisses, gathering them, and Bananas is so old that he thinks he's smart.
What?
And he just thinks he knows all of the puzzle pieces. He's like, it's gonna be 7 puzzle pieces for sure. Like, I know it for sure. So he's thinking it's 7 already. So he's collecting the puzzles. He ends up telling the boys, he's like, yeah, I think it's 7 pieces.
Yeah. It basically was the challenge vets plus Tori versus the Survivor girls and Chris.
Why you say the challenge vets plus Tori?
That's what it was.
Tori like is the challenge vet.
I'm sorry, the challenge vet guys plus Tori.
Oh, okay. So all the challenge vets. Honestly, it was just the challenge vets versus Survivor.
Not barely, because I guess you can just say Fessy.
It was because Chris was with him too.
No, Chris was with the Survivor people.
Exactly. I mean, the challenge vets versus Survivor, right? Wasn't it that hard?
Well, Michelle and Cassie wasn't really in on what Desi, Janelle, Michaela, and Chris were doing.
Okay. I see.
Because they were working to make sure, and Michaela kind of says that she was working to make sure someone wins that would throw in Michelle. Like, they wanted that core to win, the big 3 or Chris. Yeah. And the other side, of course, wanted them to win because they control it. So it's like, that's what I meant. Michelle and Cassie were just there.
When Michaela goes back into the vault, she realizes it's actually 8 pieces, and she also realizes that no one else knew it was 8 pieces. So when Bananas comes in behind her, she's like, "Yep, it's 7 for sure." And she
wasn't nothing back there. No,
nothing was back there. It's just 7, and she purposely tricked that nigga. She tricked that nigga real nasty because it's literally possible.
Why did he believe her? I still would have checked. If you ain't checking the area,
then don't check in the area. But and that's what sucks because he already thought it was 7. So he's just thinking she's just confirming what he already thought. And it's like, no, bitch, you were wrong.
That's like, I guess Michaela had a plan. Let me lie real quick.
Dude. So she lets all her girls know. So Desi knows, Chanel knows, and then Desi ends up telling Chris about the 8th piece. So now they can get Chris to win for the boys, and then one of them can win for the girls. And it literally just works out. The vets don't think it's 8, so they're all trying to build the puzzles with 7 pieces. And eventually, Chris mentions that it's 8 pieces, or they see that it's 8 pieces. No, he mentions it, and then they're like, "Oh fuck!" But it's too late.
He said 8, and it's crazy because all of them was like, "What?" Because why did none of y'all?
They were trying to build the whole time.
It just shows how much they rely on their friends getting into the end of these situations. Like, one person said it's 7, and you all just didn't try to do more than 7. Like,
didn't go back and check nothing.
Okay.
But I guess you're racing, so you were trying to just do it fast. But yeah, Chris ends up winning, and Desi ends up winning for the girls. So it was just like that. And that's how you know, like, honestly, Survivor kind of eats. Like, the challenge people have been doing this for so long, and they just got outsmarted and outplayed by Survivor.
They also did it in Challenge World Championship by Danny and Sarah, Survivor.
Oh, that too. And it's like
Survivor be eating them up nasty,
real bad.
And I mean, but I mean, honestly, Survivor in general, because Survivor also beasted Challenge USA 1, Challenge USA 3. Y'all need to go after Survivor, bitch. Okay, I need Kirsten, Riley, America, Blue, Mimi, Tiffany, Amira to get it together and get the Survivor girls out
ASAP. Fuck. So boom,
girl,
back in the crib.
I just had a bunch of girls that's gonna be beefing with each other instead of getting out.
Yeah,
because that's the problem.
They don't get each other
Big Brother be beefing.
They need to get these Amazing Race people on.
That's the real tea.
Because Amazing Races stick together,
especially this season. A few from this season.
Fuck. So back in the crib, Michaela is talking to some of the vets, and she's like, "I mean, y'all think it could be a girls' day?" And they already wanted it to be a girls' day, so they're like, "Sure." Mm-hmm. And she basically starts telling them about Michelle being a snake. She was like, "Yeah, Michelle was pushing for Tori to be voted, and she didn't even vote Tori. And I don't know, she was just doing a lot. And honestly, Michelle probably needs to be the one to go in." And Michelle, hears her, and she walks in, And she says, "What's the word?"
What's the word?
It's giving Kim Possible.
What?
And what's the shit? Like, girl, what?
This fight was so hilarious, and I also saw on Michaela's first season, Spies, Lies, and Allies. She had went home first because of the list situation, and she had beef with Michaela. I mean Michelle. Damn, she had beef with Michelle there until they got into a whole fight after I guess the elimination vote, whatever the fuck. So they got big beef. Rivals 3, come on, let's make it happen. Or was it before? Shit, Rivals 1 was
Rivals. Rivals.
Like
enemies.
This argument was hilarious.
It was actually
because Michelle was openly admitting that she was basically just having a breakdown, and it's like
a Michelle down.
The thing about Michelle is that she's not going to be the victim in the situation, so she's not just going to cry and say you're just making me. But it's like she's trying to argue, but then she also is in the middle of a meltdown. So it's like
she's at a point. Michelle's like, Michaela's like, you're unraveling right now. And Michelle's like, I'm not unraveling. And Michaela was like, your cheeks are quite pink right now. And Michelle was like,
really? Michaela, my
face just gets red, Michaela. It's just that's what happens when I melt down.
And Michaela was like, I hit alcohol, and then she started barking.
Oh my god.
Michaela's sick. And here goes Michelle. Shut the fuck up, Michaela.
She ate that up. I'm sorry. What I like about Michelle is she clearly doesn't give a fuck. And I knew she didn't give a fuck. I think it was last season. That long season, Ride or Dies. I was like, Michelle don't give a fuck. But now it's just like, she just really doesn't give a fuck. Michelle will buck up to anybody. If you say her name.
But that's what's annoying about Michelle is that Michelle gonna try to placate the entire house. And then when her back up against the wall, she want to start beefing with the girls and doing stuff. Because this entire she ends up getting backed into these situations because when she's put in the power positions, she has to make decisions that's best for her. And when you're playing the entire house, especially in the challenge, girl, you're gonna piss people off when you don't choose a certain side. So I think that's always gonna fuck up, really, because she goes in there playing Survivor.
She needs to stop playing Survivor on the challenge. Like, girl, you need to stick with a group or get a group and ride with them. You can't play the middle on the challenge. She's very good at Survivor, though. Made the finals twice. Basically won twice. I shared her. So, boom. They go to the nominations. It's Desi and, what's that boy name? Chris. And they start with the women. Chris is like, well, Chanel and Michaela are off the table. And Desi's like, we agree. And they basically agreed this whole time. They agreed that they're putting in Michelle. Chris don't fuck with her. And Desi don't fuck with her because she lied. And also Desi said she wants to right her wrong to Tori, and she doesn't want to put in Tori because she did her so wrong. And it's like, Desi, I need you to be a little more ruthless because who gives a fuck? And then for the boys, Chris was like, he would be okay with doing Josh. And Desi has a diary room. She's like, well, Josh is a liar. And that's all I know about him. So I don't care about doing Josh. So they did Josh and they did Michelle. And it's like, I literally was like, these are some weak ass fucking nominations. Like, neither of y'all want to take out a strong boy or a strong girl. But I thought about it, and Chris has won 4 eliminations. So he's clearly one of the strongest boys himself. And we know Desi's one of the strongest girls. So maybe they don't give a fuck. Yeah. Honestly.
Basically.
I
mean, because at the end of the day, when it comes to Tori, she wants Michelle. Like, there's no one who can beat Tori other than a Michaela or maybe a Chanel, because they keep talking about good stuff.
We talking about Desi?
No, I'm saying we're talking about the vote, right? So even if she nominates Tori, there's no one in the game that could beat Tori other than her girls. So why nominate Tori to just beat Michelle? At this point, she's going into the final, I'm pretty sure. So it's like, it really doesn't matter here, but it's like, still, it's like, she's going to come back regardless. So.
Yeah, that too.
Now, Chris, I was thinking Chris low-key should have went ahead and made it a guy's day because they're probably going to try and get him thrown in for the last guy's day. So why don't you just make them go after each other and then bloop final? Yeah. But I guess
that's true. Didn't think about that either. I was wondering, I was like, neither of them seem to care to target someone. They're just putting in literally the 2 weakest players left in the game.
I think Chris maybe should have cared a little bit, but honestly, he probably beats all of them. So
that's why I was saying, like, they're clearly just strong enough to not give a fuck.
But see, that Desi don't know she that strong.
Yes, the fuck she does. Everybody knows Desi.
I think Desi thinks that Tori could beat her, and it's like, girl.
You know what she literally said in the diary room? She said, I'm okay with going against Tori in the final. I know Tori could be competition in the final, but I'm okay with it. And it's like, I guess if she's okay with it, then who am I to be mad at her?
She better eat her.
I guess we'll see how you do, babe. Put your money where your mouth is.
Because if they lose to Tori in this final,
I mean, it would make sense. Tori's been in so many. You'd think she win.
I mean, she's been in so many, but lost.
I'm honestly expecting Tori to win. Tori's played the challenge way more times than these people have, and she's been to way more finals. If she loses, she probably sucks. If she loses to a bunch of newbies, I'm gonna be disappointed. Like, I'm actually gonna be kind of confused. Especially because all the hype she kind of got this last win she got, it was like, oh my God, Tori just killed the season and she's one of the best challengers. People are calling her the best challenger ever. One of the best top women challengers ever. So I'm expecting her to win for sure.
Now with
I think Tori's going to win. I think Tori's going to win. And then I'm thinking like maybe Fessy, Bananas, or Corey for the boys. I don't see Chris winning. He's new. This is his first time. It would be weird, wouldn't it? So, boom, back at the villa. Josh. It's just, Josh is just chilling because he says he just wants to chill because he knows it's supposed to be a girls' day. Woo, right? We get a scene with Michelle.
They coordinate this so bad. It gives me production tells them it needs to be a girls' day.
No, literally, because how it just so happened.
And the next round is a double, so it's definitely giving. Which we wanted to make sure the next round's a double. So go ahead and make this right.
A boy and a girl. Yeah, and do girls. Yeah, literally. So Tori, well, that wouldn't work because there was a boy's name in the hopper, and if it came out, then it would just been boys' day.
Yeah, but I mean, probability
allegedly.
So that's what it really comes down to.
Yeah, they be rigging. That's what you said.
Basically. Okay. I mean, they can make sure if they want to be a girl's day, they can make sure only a girl ball come out that thing.
It's very convenient that it ended up being 5 girls and 5 boys at the top 10 right before the final. But hey, we move. So Michelle is sad, of course. And Tori has a scene where she's like, I'm grateful for Desi. And all of this is kind of important because this next round is the last round. So Tori being grateful of Desi could probably just mean that Tori won't try to target Desi if she wins next round. And next round is the last round. So that's something to look out for. Cassie has a diary room and she says, I don't want to be one of the girls going in. I want to make sure it's kind of Chanel because I know all the people going to vote me in. But baby, everybody's going to vote Cassie in. I don't even know why she tried. Now, this next scene, for me, I didn't understand. So Fessy and Corey are talking and they're gagging because Fessy didn't go in and he should have because Chris and him got beef. Well, Fessy don't like him, whatever the fuck. And then Josh comes over and he starts crying. And he's not crying because he's nominated. He's crying because he feels like he hasn't proven himself enough and he doesn't deserve it. So he's like, I feel like a part of me kind of should go in and I just want to go in. You know what? Next time, I'm going in against Chris. I'm going in against Chris next round and you're going to, look, I'm volunteering. So don't even worry. Next round, I'm going in against Chris because I just need to deserve it. And they were like trying to tell him, like, I mean, you're good. And they were consoling him, which is sweet and dandy. And, it's cute that he's sad or whatever. But I don't understand. You have had a lot of heat and a lot of smoke throughout this season with your gameplay. And this week is going to be a girls' day. And y'all don't this isn't survive. And y'all can't. So you're just protecting all of the heat he's had all season for him to cry? Because he hasn't proven himself,
and that's what.
And it's like note that none of these other men are saying they need to prove themselves because they don't. No shade, but it's like they don't, and they shouldn't have to. Well, first of all, they do. Fessy hasn't won. Corey hasn't won. Who else hasn't won?
Josh. None of these men have won, but that's the only one who wins there.
Brandon is the only one who won. So a lot of people here actually have to prove that they can win, but none of them are volunteering themselves, crying, throwing up, shaking, screaming because they haven't gone into an elimination yet. Corey hasn't been into elimination, neither has Fessy. Hell no. And it's like you're the only one doing this because 1, you're dramatic and that's annoying, but 2, it's just I think he feels bad about himself, but it's like why?
But I feel like production also kind of sets him up because he has in the diary room, I'm known for Big Brother Challenge as being a very chaotic player, and they show flashback to that, and then he says how he wants to win, and it's like, I mean, and this is what I'll just say in general. This really goes to all of them. What is the definition of insanity, right? If you doing something over and over again,
right,
that's insanity. Okay, these people are going on the challenge every single season and they're playing the exact same game, and it's confused why they don't make finals and win the game. You go on here, you play with your strong ass fans.
Corey and Fessy.
I'm talking about Corey and Fessy too. They're sitting in the end with each other in Bananas. Like I'm still talking about them.
That is true.
If Fessy wins and Corey
That is
doesn't,
true.
Corey, this is your how many final and you didn't win because you went to the end with your friend who could beat you? Like, I'm just saying, they go in here, they all play the exact same game. I mean, even Tori didn't even have any vet girls to do that with, and she forced this trio of 3 to do it. So she can protect them and they can protect her. They want to go to the end with these strong people, and they lose and they get confused. Like, you're going to lose every time if you're sitting in the end with a bunch of people who can beat you or who are capable of running a final.
Yeah.
I mean, even Chris is an example of that. You don't see any of them right now trying to get Chris out. Y'all want Chris in the final? The man who just won 4 eliminations in one season? Like, that's all I'm saying is that we keep hearing these storylines. Like, and I love Corey. I love Corey down. Like, there's a man. But, like, I can't feel sad about you not winning. Him tweeting, y'all know how bad I want to be a champion. Yeah. We've wanted you to. I wanted Corey to win.
I really think Corey's going to win. But that's the thing. I feel like Corey. Well, that's the thing. Corey going with Fessy going with Corey. That was stupid. But honestly, it's one. I feel like it's one of them winning. So I don't. That's why I'm kind of like, I think they got it. So I'm just, Bananas is old. Chris, this is his first time. I'm assuming Corey or Fessy are going to win.
They should. But
that's what I'm saying. So I'm kind of like maybe this time it worked, but it hasn't worked before. So and it's not going to work for one of them. Even if Fessy wins, Corey lost because he went with Fessy.
I think that's my point. And the challenge is getting to a point. Excuse me. It could have, and it kind of sort of been like this. I just like it was a little bit more competitive back in the older days. Like these people, they just link up. All these strong people just link up. They go to the end together, and most of them complain about not winning, and some of them want to win. And then the people who we've been seeing fight for these wins every time they lose because they're at the end with people who can beat them.
Yeah.
I mean, Ride or Dies, the Nani storyline. How many times have we gotten the Nani storyline about her wanting to win one of these challenges?
Too fucking many.
And you're there with the strongest people: Jordan, Anissa, who else? Not Wes. Tori, Devin. Like, these are some strong competitors. And then even on the rookie side, Horacio was a great competitor. It's like, and that's the thing, Tori in this season, it's like you're now going to the end with some of the best competitors of the rookies. You should be going to the end with Cassidy and Michelle.
On purpose, she's going to the end with them. And it's weird. Like, it's like they want to.
Because they don't have, and I hate to say it, I don't think they have the finesse, the strategic finesse to make a big move and then pivot to where they're not the next target. Yeah. They only thinking, let me protect these strong people, and then they protect me. Yeah. They're not thinking, let me target these strong people and then do this move to make sure I'm not now the next target. Yeah. And I get it. It's based on competitions, but even like there are ways to get out of going in.
And you don't have to make a deal with that thing. Tori could have just made a deal with Michaela, and that's it. You don't have to make a deal with Desi, Michaela, and Chanel. Like, it just is, it's pointless. Literally, Michaela won the next 2 ones after Tori if she would have just made the deal with Michaela. Or even just Michaela and Desi. She could have took out Chanel. Chanel hasn't won a daily all season. You could have taken out Chanel.
Remember her first win? She didn't want to go after any survivor. Her first win, she didn't touch any survivor. It was 7 survivors in the game.
She got Alyssa? It was before Alyssa. It was literally before Alyssa. I think y'all getting out the week. They got out all the week. Tori, she's
the reason why Alyssa Lopez went home early in the season.
Yeah, they let out all the weak girls. Alyssa Lopez, the other Alyssa, Tiffany, Michelle. Why are they all gone? These are the weakest women. And I hate to say it, no offense to those ladies. But literally, you should want those mothers. You should want the people who you can beat at the end. And these bitches don't play like this. It's so weird. I hate watching challengers play. And this is why I don't like watching challengers.
It's fun in the beginning. It's fun in the beginning. Towards the middle end, it gets stale because the same.
They want to suck each other dick off. Literally,
of course, Corey, Fessy, Josh.
Yeah, literally all agreeing they don't want it to be a boys' day. That's boring. You should want your competitors out. But hey, we move. We go to the arena. Corey gets 1 vote. Chanel gets 1 vote. Cassidy gets the rest of the 7 because they're voting the weakest person in, of course. It's the same shit. Boring. So it's Cassidy versus Michelle.
Like, they are elimination. Cassidy versus Michelle.
Cassidy versus Michelle. Right before the
I ain't gonna do Cassidy like that because Cassidy been proving herself. But it's just like.
But they voted her in because they thought she was weak. Literally. Mm-hmm. Like, that's boring. So, anyways, it's Cassidy versus Michelle, and they are what? How the fuck do I even explain this shit?
Yeah,
Damn,
this was hard. It was like it was like what was it? Arm wrestle. There's
this
a
shit.
let me I think I have it written down. So you're gonna start on opposite ends of a 20-foot long bar, which is attached to a steering wheel. One side is pink, one side is yellow. In the middle of that bar is a single torch. So both people are going to be trying to twist that torch to go on either side. They have to get that torch to light color coordinated bombs, and they each have six each. The first person to light each six wins.
I'm thinking about if I was just listening. Well, that's the thing. There's no visual of it, but I'm
Girl,
thinking
go
about if
watch.
I'm like listening to a podcast in the car, I wouldn't know what the fuck you talking about.
Yeah, girl, it looked crazy on the. It looked like one of them
It's gonna be on the
saw.
screen grab though. If
It
y'all
looked like one of them saw contraptions. Honestly,
It did. But basically, it's like a strength competition. It's you have to be strong enough to push the other person towards your torch, and then pull the other person away from theirs, and then twist it left and right towards yours and away from there. It's very physical.
mm-hmm.
It's just on a pole and a wheel. But at the end of the day, Cassidy ate that bitch up. I'm sorry. Cassidy ate Michelle up real bad. At first, it was 1-1, but after that, Cassidy
And
got
this is
all.
Michelle. This thing, I really like Michelle. I don't want Michelle to be another one of these challengers who play 50 million times and never win. So I'm gonna need her to get it together because it seems like she's not that good at these eliminations against some of these. I think that's why she wants to kind of like play all sides of the table because she's like, I can't beat these. I can't beat Tori and I can't beat Desi. So I need to try and be bestie with them. But it's like players like her always end up getting caught up because these like they're literally trying to teach the new girls the game. Like you see Desi, I'm gonna keep the strong girls safe so I can stay
Yeah,
safe. Like that's what they're gonna do. They're always gonna choose someone stronger
yeah,
because they're scared.
literally.
It's all about fear. That's the thing. They can try to act. They will never say it. But Tori is scared of them three girls. Point blank. Period. She's scared of them. She doesn't want to go against them. But the illusion is she's the vet. They're the rookie. So like, of course, she has a higher pedestal. But no, her going out of her way to protect all three of them, she's terrified. But she
Yeah,
knows what she's
she
doing.
is. She is, and she do know what she's doing, and that's the fucking gag. But barely because you could literally lose to all these strong people. But hey, we move. Hopefully in the future the challenge figures out a way
I
to
think,
successfully.
and I don't know. It's because the goal it seems is just to make the final. It's just to be
Yeah,
in the final, and it made sense when they used to pay everyone in the final. They used to pay everybody. If you make the final, you getting money. They
hmm
didn't stop doing that. So y'all just fighting to be in the final is stupid. Maybe
it
it's
is.
too many people in the final.
It honestly is. It used to only be 3 teams,
They switched
or
it. They used to. I don't know if that's consistent because
not consistently
it'll be
because I
days.
remember out of the seasons it was 4.
It can be
But
up.
when it was pairs, when it was like pairs or individual for the most part, pairs and individual seasons, it was not. I don't remember it being 4 because nowadays it's 4 every single season. It's always at least 4 people. I don't remember it being always 4 people in the final every single time. I don't remember that
I
at
don't
all.
recall.
Actually, I know for a fact Ashley and Hunter, when they won, it was only 3 pairs in the final. It was them two, it was Cara Maria and her pair, and it was only one other pair in that final. So I just feel like go back to 3 pairs. I feel 4 pairs is just a lot. Like, I don't know.
That's
It's a
like
little bit.
the show because that's the culmination of the whole show. The culmination of the whole show is the final. So we see these people compete in this epic challenge, and I think they want a good number of people to do that. So it's interesting to watch. I think
Yeah,
honestly the end game of the challenge is just stale with this type of gameplay. I think with
it is.
how they're doing it. Because I mean, even in the now, I do think the Challenge USA version could still stay interesting. Because I think really what made it because it wasn't too stale towards the end of the first season because we had the Alyssa versus Sarah drama, but Survivor kind of just overpowered and took over that. So it was kind of similar to what the Challenge
Mhm.
Vets usually do, but it was still a little bit more interesting because these are like rookies, Survivor rookies, not Challenge Vets that we've seen 50 years do the same thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But moving forward, I feel like if they were to get like a more even amount of people, so that I guess they're more loyal to their group and not strength in these other weird ways, then it could get really, really interesting. Because like people will have reasons to protect some of these quote unquote layups because they're working with them from being on the same show.
Yeah, I was going to say it's crazy because I was trying to think of a way for people to want strong players out, But honestly, they should want strong players out. It's already set up in a way where you should want the strongest people gone so you can win the finals. So I'm like, how can
An
they do it?
idea.
What?
They make everything anonymous.
Like
When they complete a challenge, when they go out there, everyone has to turn around, put a blindfold on. You cannot see how they do, and you will know the times. The person who wins will know when they get to the house.
Okay.
Everything needs to be anonymous.
Maybe just tell people.
You can, but I'm just saying. I think if you can, first of all, if you can get enough people in there, maybe enough like USA rookies,
yeah,
I can see them not doing that. Like,
that's true.
If it's a bunch of like vets, like if this was Challenge USA 40, they probably would. A group of them with pregame, and they would all just,
Maybe that's why they make this vote anonymous.
But I'm saying that's the thing, though. Like, even if it is anonymous, you have people like, I think players like Fessy and Corey who are honestly too scared to make open moves against like Tori. Because I think Fessy and Corey do want bananas out. They want the bananas out. They want West out. They want some of these people out, but they're not going to do it openly because they don't want the blowback. If they get no blowback, no one knows that they made this nomination, they're not going to care.
But the Hopper vote is anonymous.
The Hopper vote is anonymous, but because they're showing the vote, you can still clock where the vote
you can kind of count. I know these 7 people. They should just not even show the vote. Because I think that was the point of the Hopper, to be anonymous. They were trying to encourage.
And it's still kind of funly anonymous because I think people are more encouraged to be, do what they want. But because we can see the numbers, especially towards the end like this, you know exactly who did what. Especially when it was a 7 strong. So like it was a point where like you could peep who did what. But if they make everything solely unanimous, I really think they could probably shake it up. Because that's what it is. They're scared. You don't want to get the blowback of the entire house.
They just need to boss up. Fuck. But that's true. They're literally just scared. That would kind of eat. Because I'm trying to think. I'm thinking of like a nominations. Like Desi and Chris just won nominations. But if no one knew they did, she could put in Tori and not give a fuck. Like a part of it is like, if I put in Tori's probably going to put me in literally next round. That's what Tori said all season.
When Fessy won, he was like, I don't want Bananas and West to just sit there and get to the end. He probably would have thrown in one of them in, but he was too scared. Like,
Child. All right, y'all.
In conclusion, these niggas is pussies.
And we will be talking about these pussy ass niggas again next week, and then a week after that, and then we'll be done because it's coming up on final season. So that's good. But don't worry, because we're covering other shows. Tune into The Amazing Race. There's some fine ass men over there. So if you're into that over here, then get into that over there.
They're on the next season of the Challenge USA.
They're probably going to be on the next season of Challenge USA. That's the thing. These other shows, they got the next Challenge USAers. So if you are just a Challenge fan, just watch these other shows because they're going to be on Challenge. So check out Survivor. We're doing the Survivor coverage, and we're doing Amazing Race coverage, and we're finishing up Big Brother 2. So check out all of that. And thank you for keeping it real with the Kingdom. Bitch, we're out.